Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Jets Radio. This is one of your hosts, Tyson Roush, the preview show edition of the Barn Burner on Sunday. You're looking at, this is the marquee matchup between the mighty Miami Dolphins, led by the bearded bozo, Ryan Fitzpatrick, against Gase's Goons, the New York Jets. This is some quality football we're going to talk about tonight. Long Beach Joe, what's up, man?
What's going on, Ty? Man, this is a tough one. This is a real tough one, but we're gonna get through it. You know, this team's got to fight.
It's our weekly punishment, man. This is our weekly. Yeah. This is our punishment that we somehow earned.
Yeah, we kind of signed up for this, I guess. But you know, we've got to beat the Dolphins, man. We've got to.
We ain't beating the Dolphins.
I don't know if I could take another one. Man. But listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote our Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search Let's Talk Jets Radio. Like that page. Our content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message us. We'll message you right back. We love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave some feedback. We love hearing about what you folks think we do here on Let's Talk Jets Radio. So without further ado, Ty, let's go ahead and get into the show, man. I'm fired up.
Yeah, I'm fired up for everything but the Jets. The Knicks fired their coach today. That's pretty cool. There's some really cool football games on Sunday, some marquee matchups. Some games Saints and the 49ers. You got Patriots and Chiefs. You got a lot of good games out there, man. But unfortunately, we got to watch this dribble nonsense garbage, Jets and Dolphins. So I guess what we'll do is we're on Instagram and Twitter at Talk Jets Radio. We're on YouTube, Let's Talk Jets Radio. And we want to thank everybody for the feedback on Tuesday's show. We obviously pulled no punches, and obviously we're pretty disgusted with the state of the team. But, Joe, I guess what we usually do with the preview show is we start with the injury report, and it is impossible to not be ridiculously worried about Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing for 400 yards when the entire Jets secondary is pretty much out. This is a disaster. You got Brian Poole, concussion, out. Jamal Adams, doubtful, he's not playing. And you got Arthur Millette, doubtful, he's not playing. So you have two of your three starting corners that are already backups out, and your best safety out. Your secondary's a mess, dude. And the funny thing is, you're going to have Darryl Roberts playing safety. The same Darryl Roberts that we mocked last year when Todd Bowles put him back there.
Yeah. Wow. You look at this situation, I guess Bless Austin is going to have to go back into that one role. You could, like you said, you could put Roberts at safety, or maybe they put, because I know they have a guy, I think it's Bennett Jackson. Maybe they start him, who knows, Blake Couches, who knows. But they put Roberts at safety. So, Greg Williams is just going to have to change things up to really, do something to help the secondary out. Because like you just said, we just went over the injuries. So many guys gone now. As we all know, garbage ass Jermaine Johnson, he's already, on the IR as well. So, that's done. I don't know, man. For me, this is a game where maybe you see a guy like Marcus May. Now he's put in the light because Jamal Adams should not be playing. That's one thing I'm worried about is him trying to rush him back. He should not be playing. So if he does not play, which he should not be playing, I'm looking to see what Greg Williams does with Marcus May. We all know he's a solid guy in coverage. But, he can be moved around as well. He can be brought down to the line. I want to see if Greg Williams maybe draws up some of the same stuff that he was giving Jamal Adams. Because Marcus this year has pretty much been asked to stay 40 yards off the ball, help out with these garbage-ass corners that we got, and just make sure nobody gets past you. And he's been doing a pretty solid job of that. So now with Adams gone, maybe he turns into the ball hawk. Maybe he turns into the guy that Greg Williams would use to attack the offense.
Yeah, I think you'll see Nate Hairston out there. That Maurice Kennedy, he's banged up. The Kyron Brown. Hairston was a guy we all liked, and he was kind of, but it's like, dude, you're trying to fill so many holes now, where it's just, and you could figure, Jamal Adams was, obviously a team MVP, all-pro kind of player, but Brian Poole was playing at a ridiculously high level, and when Brian Poole went out last week, they started going after him, and here's the problem you have. Ryan Fitzpatrick is the same kind of player as Andy Dalton is, a veteran guy that's seen it all, and he's going to go after all your weaknesses, and he's not scared to throw the ball. And the entire Jets secondary is a weakness. So to me, it's just like this is a bona fide mess, a complete mess on defense because they're decimated by injuries. I mean, there's guys they could be signing now that are going to be playing on Sunday significant reps. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, this is going to be, we're going to see what Greg Williams can do, what he can draw up in scheme. Because like you said, this is the guy that gets after. And not just that, but, Devontae Parker, this is a guy that since Gase left that team has come on, man. I mean, he's looking like he's the real deal. People used to talk about how great he was and how solid he was in practice, but things just weren't translating on to the field in game day. Well, he's putting it together now. So you got to worry about him. You also got to worry about Albert Wilson as well, a guy that, is always doing work against us when we go up there and we play him. So, man, this is going to be a tough one, man. It really is going to be a tough one, but they got to hang tight. I mean, it's the NFL. Injuries happen. Like you said, we got a banged-up secondary, but we just can't lay down and just give them the game.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, is the leadership of Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams is the emotional leader. He helped replace the loss of C.J. Mosley. He's kind of like the face of the franchise, all this stuff. You're not taking that out of the equation with a team coming off a terrible loss, with the fans hating them, the media hating them. It's like you almost wonder how much life is left in this team. Will they have any emotion and passion with their best player, their emotional leader out, and Le'Veon Bell as an unknown now because he's friggin' sick? You know if Le'Veon Bell is going to play. Yeah,
and you know what the thing, and not just that, with Adams being out, but you also wonder how many guys have checked out already, because this season is going nowhere, and we're already seeing what's going on here with Gabe. Yeah, you checked out. There's other fans that have checked out as well. You wonder how many other players on this team have checked out. But going over to Le'Veon Bell, this is something, that I'm a little worried about here because all of a sudden we got an illness. And I'm wondering, if he's...
It's called sick of losing.
I'm just wondering if he's okay. I'm going to say that. I'm wondering if he's okay. I'm wondering, where he's at, physically, because this, you get sick. I understand you get the flu. We've all had the flu. It takes us out, So I'm wondering, where his body is, and if he doesn't play, man, that really puts more of a load on the offense because then you literally. This is one of the reasons why I talk about, when people talk about trading Le'Veon Bell, it's like, okay, if you trade him, what dynamic weapon do defenses have to scheme for, to be aware of? After him, there's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing on his level, on the elite level of him on this team. It's just him. So without Le'Veon Bell, you're going to see defenses pin their ears back. So I'm wondering if he'll be able to get over this illness this week, how long this illness will last. But if he is out for this week, man, this is going to expose some things big time with Gaze. Gaze, I know we complain about, or not even complain.
No, he'll run the ball, Joe. Joe, dude, this is so predictable, Joe. I'm making my prediction right now. Le'Veon Bell's not going to play, and Adam Gase will commit to the run. He will run Powell and Montgomery and be successful with it to say, you know what, guess who we don't need? Dude, you can see how this is going to happen. I already see it happening.
Look, well,
he's a spiteful prick. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah, but that's the other thing, Tyson. We've also been complaining that he doesn't utilize Powell or Montgomery enough this season as well. Think about this. Montgomery, what was that on that drive where they kept throwing the ball on 3rd and 2? Montgomery ran for what? 7 yards, 8 yards or something like that. And we never saw him again on that drive. It was all about throwing. So that's what I'm worried about is, okay, if Bell doesn't play, then are you going to feature Ty Montgomery and Bilal Powell the way you should? Is that going to happen? This is going to continue to expose the guy. It's going to continue to expose Gaze, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I just had this funny feeling Le'Veon's going to have this flu or whatever, not up to snuff. He doesn't play. And then all of a sudden, Adam Gase is like, you know what? I'm going to give Bilal Powell 20 carries and Montgomery 10 carries. The running game's going to erupt. Like, oh, guess what we don't need? This is that. I told you we can do it. Like, it's just he's that kind of just spiteful, arrogant coach. You can just see it. But even with that, you look at the rest of the injury report. I mean, it's tough, man. There's a lot of injuries. Doga's going to be out again. This is becoming a complete lost year from him. Between bad play and injuries, he's going to be out. Then a lot of the guys that are questionable, they're limited in practice. Usually when you're limited in practice, you play. So, Kelvin Beachum and Alex Lewis and all these guys, they'll all be okay. And that just puts the premium right back on. I mean, it's tough to even preview this game because with all the injuries and two teams that, are kind of out of it. But the Dolphins are streaking, dude. they're playing very well. They're inspired. Brian Flores has these guys. He's super aggressive. They're well coached. Patrick's on a roll. And for me, Joe, the biggest question just coming out of the tunnel is, what do you expect from this team? Are they going to be lifeless? Are they quitting? Are they going to mail it in? And to me, it's like, now you know when the team is either bought into Gase or not. Because they come out flat as a pancake on Sunday, that means they've all quit. They're home for the holidays, and they're just not listening to a word being said in the locker room.
Yeah, and that's what I talked about earlier. How many guys have checked out on this team? That's what we're going to see. Upcoming in this game, who's going to still be out there playing? Who can Gase reach? Is he going to make sure that these guys' heads are still in the game? But you talk about the Dolphins. Listen, the Dolphins are much more well coached than we are. That is a fact. They don't have a better roster though, but they're put in better position to make plays. They have a coach that actually knows what he's doing. He's getting the best out of these guys. Listen, these dudes are starting something like 18 rookies. Are you serious? They're starting 18 rookies. They're going out there fighting every week. They just beat the Eagles. This is a team that is not giving up. They are not done fighting, and they're going to come out, and they're playing to the wall in every single game. They have found a coach that will reach these dudes. So we're going to see what he's got, because if you come out against the Dolphins and you're lifeless and you're dead, they will beat our ass again. The same way you did the first time. They will beat our ass again because they are playing. And, again, this is the revenge game, too. You think some of these guys, Devontae Parker, Albert Wilson, I'm talking about Mike Grosecki. Yeah, all these guys that had issues under Gase and then flourished without him. You don't think these guys are thinking, I can't wait to go in here and drop 100-plus yards on this dude and score touchdowns and leave him in the dust? Yeah, that's what they're coming in here to do. They're coming in here with a chip on their shoulder, just like they did the first game when they handled us. So let me tell you something. If the Jets are not prepared, if they're not ready, if they come out and look lifeless, that's just another stone in the pile of stones on the side of firing Gase right now. This fan base will erupt if we lose to this team again. A team that, again, is in a full-blown tank mode, in a rebuild. They're literally at the starting part of the rebuild. They've traded off a bunch of talent, but they're not giving up. They're telling you, we're going to fight to the end. It's crazy.
No, it's like you're going to learn a lot, man. You really are going to learn a lot about this team on Sunday, just in terms of what Gase is bringing to the table. Are they buying in or not going to buy in? Are they going to play hard? Are they going to quit? Are they going to be well coached? Are they going to be prepared? And it's just like you have all these concerns, and then you take away Jamal Adams, and then you're like, oh my God, like you couldn't think like if you're a fan, like I'm trying to think like this, if you're like a fan that says, you know what, I want to go to Sunday's game. Then you think that it could be without Jamal Adams, without Le'Veon Bell, against Ryan Fitzpatrick. You're like, Jesus Christ, like you got to be just glutton for punishment, because you could like right now, if you're just like an outsider looking in, you're picking the Dolphins. Like there's just no reason why you shouldn't be. I mean, the Dolphins they're coming off a great Eagles win, and like you said, the revenge game. They would like nothing more, the guys that were there last year, to put the final nail in Adam Gase's coffin, saying, you know what? We're going to give you your second loss to us and embarrass you again in front of an already unruly fan base.
Yeah. Yep. And not just that as well. Like you said, in front of a unruly fan base, most people aren't going to that stadium. To be absolutely honest with you, there's not going to be a lot of Jets fans there. So imagine how that stadium is going to look, full of Dolphins fans that have traveled up there to watch them lay the hammer to Gase yet again, and they take over the stadium. And then they beat him at home in front of everybody. I'm telling you, that's what they're coming to do. They're not playing around. They're going to do whatever it takes to show you that even though we're stripped to the bare bones, because that's pretty much what they are right now. They're at the start of their rebuilding process. They're tanking for picks and capital so they can continue to build going forward.
They're in a much better spot than the Jets are in.
You in a lot of
much better.
In a lot of areas,
it's not even
correct.
close.
But in a lot of areas, you are right. But they're trying to show us that even in this spot, you're still not better than us. Wow.
Yep.
And they showed us that the first time. They're trying to show us it again. Yep. So Gase has got to make sure that these dudes are coached up. His scheme has got to be right. I know he spent a lot of time away from his family on Thanksgiving, crafting up that massive game plan against the Bengals. Woo. Bravo for that performance there. I mean, it took all his brain power to run 10 times with Le'Veon Bell and completely blow the game offensively. He's got to have it together against the Dolphins because they're not going to show him no mercy, man.
No, I mean, to me, I see this game, to be honest with you, I can see this game just being a shootout where it's going to be passing the ball all over the place, Darnold versus Fitzpatrick, and neither team's going to run the ball. They're just going to throw it all over the place and see what happens. I don't really have a lot of faith in this game. I just don't. I just think that this is the kind of game where, Sam's going to have his hands full between an offensive line that's kind of whatever and a team that's probably quitting, where Ryan Fitzpatrick is an emotional fire leader that has these guys backing him up and fired up and ready to play. It's just, I don't know. I see bad things happening, dude. Like you can just see it.
If you tell me that with this offensive game plan, this offensive line, that you're going to have Sam going back there, chucking the ball around, throwing the ball 40, 50 times like we did against the Bengals, dude, we're going to lose. And he is going to get destroyed. Did you see the shot? Well, you saw the shots he was taking against the Bengals. Dude, he can't take much. Can't take much more. He can't take many more of those, man. He really can't. And this Dolphins team, like I said, is coming. They're coming down here. The first game they were trying to take his head off, and they were getting to him successfully with 3-man fronts. That was the game where we got beat by a 3-man front. I'm telling you, that should not be the game plan. If Gaze has any brain in his skull, which I doubt there's probably a little in there, he's got to be able to have a more balanced offense. If you can't put out a balanced offense against the Dolphins, that is the bottom of the barrel. If you cannot put together a balanced offense against them, then I don't even know what to say. There's nothing left.
Dude, we had the same conversation last week. You look at the stats of the Dolphins compared to the Bengals. The Dolphins are 31st against the run. The Bengals were 32nd? Like, the numbers scream at you. Like, the numbers say, run the frigging football. Run it, run it, run it. Yeah. The Jets can't do that? Probably not. Like, it's just, that's why, like, you can't, it's hard to even do a preview because you have no faith in anything. Because what makes sense to us doesn't make sense to the genius. That's the problem. Like, football sense to us, the basic fundamental game plan of do this, do this, do this, it doesn't make sense to him. Either that or he's going to be spiteful and do something even more ridiculous. Meanwhile, Brian Flores, his staff is just, they're aggressive. They're trying to, have discipline, and it's just gross, dude. This is just gross. Like, you're almost like, this is going to be watching a car crash. Like, you just know, like, you expect bad things to happen.
Yeah. Well, I'm just hoping he doesn't put Sam in a bad position yet again in this game, and I do not want to see this dude continue to take the shots that he's been taking, these last damn near pretty much the whole season. I don't want to see him continue to put him in that position. You've got to run the ball, dude. You've got to run the ball. What is wrong with him? Like, just run the damn ball. We are not built. That even his scheme, just him as an offensive mind, he's so idiotic. We are not built to throw the ball around 50 times. This team is not built for that. We don't even have an identified number one wide receiver. We are not built to chuck the football around 50 times. That is not how this team is built. So he's got, at some point, dude, if you're going to do it against any team, this is the team he should at least do it against. I know that he at least does not want to lose to the Dolphins twice. He doesn't want to get swept by the team that fired him twice. He's got to take advantage of the matchups that are out. Go ahead.
No, the other thing, too, is if you look at just the defense alone, like, this Jets defense, which is going to be crazy to say, is going to have a very, very, very difficult time slowing down this Miami offense just due to injuries. Like, they are putting, Band-Aid, smoke, and mirrors in the secondary. So, Joe, if you do what you just said and run the ball and control the clock, guess what? You're keeping your defense off the field. That's it. You're saying, you know what, we're going to let you guys stay off the field, control the clock, grind them out, wear out the Miami defense, and then you have a chance. Yeah. If you go 3 and out and keep putting our defense, which is just decimated at this point, I mean, you're just, that secondary is an absolute nightmare. If you're going to keep giving the ball to Ryan Fitzpatrick, you're going to get blown out, and he's going to have 400 yards. Simple as that.
Yeah. Well, that's what we talk about all the time, or I'll talk about as well. You play complementary football. That was one of the mottos that we came into the season with. You run the football to help this defense out. Look, the other crazy thing about it is, I don't think there's anyone in that building that knows the Dolphins team better than Adam Gase. He just came from there.
Yep.
You know these guys. You know the roster backwards and forwards. You know what these guys can and can't do. There is no reason why we should come out there and lose to them again. We shouldn't have lost them the first time. But there's no reason why we should come out here and lose to them again. Not with all the inside knowledge that you have on this team. Because if you can't beat a team that was around when you were there, what does that say about you? And like you were saying, Tyson, the fact that you see what's going on with your defense. You see all the injuries that you have. If you don't run the ball to help your defense out and put them in better situations, then what does that say about you as a head coach? What does that say about your situational awareness and what's going on here? I mean, he's got to change. He's got to change it this game. He's got to change his philosophy. He's got to change his mindset about game planning. Because if he doesn't, we're going to get smoked again by a rebuilding team.
Yeah, but see, dude, here's the problem, though. The Jets are going to get smoked. Like Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to light us up. I'm already know it's going to happen. And here's the problem.
Yeah. Adam
Gase has his built-in excuse. Oh man, the injuries, man. We get Jamal Adams is out and Le'Veon was sick, and we have this guy out. Dude, like this team is a walking excuse now. They will, and you can already hear it in the press conference. You can already sense it. Well, we're kind of banged up here, and this hasn't been our year. A lot of bad breaks, this and that. Like they've already accepted losing. They're defeated going into this game. I honestly believe that. Yeah. They already know they can lose, and it's okay. And that's the problem the rest of the season, because they have built-in excuses that not only has the head coach embraced, the general manager embraced, ownership allowed. And there's your problem.
Exactly.
They're going to lose, and nobody's going to care. It's no big deal. Just writing off the season, loss. Okay, we'll bounce back next year. That's a damn shame, dude.
Yeah, and you're right, because you can't use any of those excuses. You can't use any of those excuses unless Chris Johnson comes out and says, "Hey, you're coming back here next year in 2020, no matter what." The simple fact that he did
exactly right
and gave his vote, it just throws it all out the window. It doesn't matter what happens.
You're exactly right. Damn right.
It doesn't matter. And that's
no sense of urgency whatsoever. None
at all. And that's what's so sad about this situation, because this could possibly be another wasted year for Sam Darnold. And not just a wasted year, but a year where he just gets beat up bad physically. And again,
and nobody cares.
And nobody cares. You're right. Nobody cares. And not just that, but again, we keep talking about the things that are going on with him physically, how he's taking shots, his mechanics at times are getting off. These are things that, again, could literally be stitched into his DNA that you may not be able to get rid of. Stuff that was going on this year is stuff that you might not be able to get rid of in the future. So, look, I'm going to try to be positive. I'm hoping that Gase steps up in this game. There is no reason that we should lose to the Dolphins. We are better on paper, and we are a better football team than them. We just need our coach to step up and show the rest of the league that.
Right now, and I just think we may, in theory, have more talent on the field. They're going to be a better coach team, better prepared team, and probably want the game more because they have that incentive to embarrass the Jets in front of their quote-unquote hometown fans. And it just, like, you could just see it. And I honestly think this is the kind of game where all the warts in the locker room, all the problems in the locker room start to get exposed when players just don't care. You know what? Listen, dude. Yeah. You know what? If I'm in a contract year and I know I'm not coming back to the Jets, I'm going to get myself a little cold, a little back injury, a little hamstring injury. I'm not going to go the extra mile because you know what? I'm not coming back here next year. And furthermore, I don't want to come back here next year. These are the kind of games you start seeing that. Add in a Ryan Fitzpatrick who just loves beating the Jets, and we have a horrible secondary. Like, it's just. And the whole thing of Jamal Adams not playing, to me, is significant. That is the lifeline of your defense. That's your rallying guy. Steve McClennan's a great leader. He can't overcome that. So now you're down to like your, plan F in terms of motivation. It ain't. This is going to be. I think it's going to be a Dolphins party, dude. I think they're going to whip our ass and laugh all the way about it. And we're going to watch it. We're going to watch the press conference, and nobody's going to care because everybody has a built-in excuse to say, "Oh, you know what? This is just not our year. We're just unfortunate." And you know how you know how I know this is going to happen is because even the media is starting to say it. God, I feel bad for Adam Gase. They have 16 guys on IR. They already are all buying. Well, they're not buying in. They're probably being told to use these excuses, but it's there. Like, the other point you made, a great point, is that ownership's already allowed it. They didn't say, "Listen, we want to see this team finish strong, or heads are going to roll." They said, "Not only do we not care if you finish strong or not, you're all coming back next year." So, dude, it's okay. Losing is okay. They can embarrass you. They can embarrass me. They can embarrass themselves. Everything is just fine. We'll come back next year and see what else we got. And that's what we're going to see on Sunday. I think Sunday's going to be a complete mess. I expect it, and I expect a complete lethargic response on Monday where nobody cares.
Man, look, I hear you, and you make great points. I'm just hoping that, I mean, if any of those players give a damn. Well, first off, you talked about the locker room, guys coming out and checking out. I think the other way could go as well, where you might have guys start speaking out as well, especially if you get blown out in this game. You might have a guy, because we've already had guys already pop off, via social media, whatever, come out and speak their mind about various things that's already going on in the franchise, and they don't give a damn. Most still haven't deleted tweets, and they don't care at all. I'm hoping that doesn't happen, because then you're going to have more of an issue than we already have. Look, like I said, you make great points. I'm just hoping that he can somehow reach some players in this team to get it together.
Who the hell
have
is he
them
going
go
to
out
reach,
there
dude?
and
Who
look like a functional offense.
They know he's a fraud. They know he's a fraud.
All he's got to do is run the football, dude. He's got to run the football.
They made you speechless. This team just made you speechless.
I'm just because I'm just
we had radio
because
college.
I don't want gay. I don't want gays here, but there's no way that we're worse than the Dolphins. There's no way. There's no way that we're worse than the Dolphins.
You gotta face
there's
reality,
no way.
man. You gotta embrace this. I'm here to help
there's
you.
No way,
I'm
dude.
here to help you embrace.
Anybody could.
We're gonna get squished by
Adam,
the fish.
Anybody but Adam Gase could coach this team and beat the Dolphins. Anybody. This is not even rocket science. This is a team that is literally stripped to the bare bones. They're starting 18 rookies. They're signing guys off the street that are going to be starting against us in this game. There is no reason why we should lose this game. There is no reason. And if we do, man, right, I don't even know what to say. The franchise has hit rock bottom. If we lose this game, we've hit rock bottom. Then we're undoubtedly the worst team in the league. There's no way. There's no way you can't call us the worst team in the league.
So, speaking of the worst team in the league, we're going to bring on our good friend Steve. Steve, how you doing,
man? Wow.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Are you ready for some Fitzmagic?
I don't know if I'm going to be ready for Fitzmagic. I hope it's tragic on Sunday.
Yeah, but Steve, if you look at the matchups and you look at all the injuries in the secondary and how the Jets, especially without Jamal Adams, I mean, dude, they're decimated. You can't see Ryan Fitzpatrick absolutely torching us.
Well, here is the thing about that game. I mean, the thing is that we're really banged up in our secondary, and it's going to be really tough not seeing Jamal Adams out there. I mean, this is going to be the first time in his NFL career he's missing a game due to an injury. But at the same time, though, it does kind of worry me about having Fitzpatrick, throwing all over the place. I mean, in case you guys remember in the first matchup, even when we did have Jamal Adams playing, Ryan Fitzpatrick torched our secondary the first time we played them in Miami. And it's just, it's just not only Fitzpatrick, it's just Devontae Parker worries me, Albert Wilson worries me, and that tight end. But the only thing is, about that.
Yeah,
hang on, let me just finish, Joe, before you say anything, because I know you want to say something. But the thing is that this is a game that this is what's going to happen. Jet fans and Dolphin fans who are going to that game are going to want to expect their team to lose, to get a higher pick. But the thing is, though, it's just I just really want to see the Jets, play with heart this weekend on Sunday and hope to get the W, because we got swept by Miami last year. I don't want to get swept again a second year in a row, because that's going to suck if we get swept a second year in a row. It is a good possibility that it could happen, but we'll see what happens on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, Stephen, I want to thank you for calling in, man. Are you concerned that the Jets are going to come out just lifeless and guys are going to be checked out?
It does worry me about that because that did happen last year, the first time we played Buffalo in Week 10 last year.
Happened last week.
And the thing is that it does worry me that they would come out very flat. It's just that's always a big worry. But if they don't come out flat and play with heart, then there is something that we could see.
Yeah, I mean, what are your three keys to this game? Like, I don't see any of it, but I mean, if Le'Veon Bell doesn't play, do you see them using Powell and Montgomery? Are they going to pass the ball a lot? I mean, how do you see them winning this game?
If let's say Le'Veon doesn't play, Powell and Montgomery need to have a good running game. Sam Darnold has to have a good game, and the Jets have to put pressure on Fitzpatrick. Because if there is no pressure on Fitzpatrick, and if the secondary is having issues with covering, we're going to get torched and we're going to lose.
Well, they can't play man defense, dude. They're going to have to play zone because the secondary, you're going to have fourth and fifth string corners. You can't. How much can you possibly blitz when you have a secondary like this? You can't blitz.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, you can't. Unfortunately, you can't. And the thing is, with all the injuries, the pass rush has to come from Jenkins,
not Quinn Williams.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Quentin Williams. I mean, I know Quentin Williams is only a rookie, but he's got to show up big in this game
for the first time this year.
Mm-hmm. It's just I just don't know what to expect. I mean, I will say this: if we start playing really bad in this game, I'm telling you one thing that's going to happen. And when Christopher Johnson is going to realize this, Jet fans are going to start a fire Adam Gase chant.
Well, Steve, I mean, they did that the last time.
They did it in Miami. But, I mean, here's the thing. Even if they do a fire Adam Gase chant in MetLife Stadium on Sunday, Christopher Johnson is not going to listen to the fans. He already said we're having him back in 2020. Christopher Johnson Christopher Johnson doesn't have a brain. That's the problem.
Yeah, I want to talk about Sam because I'm concerned with him, especially with our O-line being shuffled again because guys are, hurt. We'll see who ends up actually playing. But are you concerned about him being protected in his game against the Dolphins?
Well, the thing is, Miami doesn't really have, that much of an edge rush, but the Jets' offensive line has to protect. You don't protect Sam, we're not going to win. You got to protect Sam. The offensive line next to Sam is the most important thing about your offense. Because if you don't protect your quarterback and if you don't protect Sam, you're not going to win.
Yeah, I mean, that just seems like obvious. But then last week, I think seemed obvious too. And Carlos Dunlap had 3 sacks or 2 sacks. So, Steve, you look at this game Sunday in front of probably 35,000 fans, probably 10 of them be Dolphin fans. What is your prediction for this monumental matchup?
Well, I'll be at the game on Sunday with a good friend of mine from school, so I'll be going to the game.
What's your prediction?
You know what? I believe that the Jets will win this game. I'm going to go, but I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think the Jets win this game by the final score of 34-31 over the Dolphins.
Wow.
I
enjoy the game, Steve.
I just see a lot of high scoring in this game. I think it's going to be high scoring no matter what happens. But have a good night, guys. We'll see what happens Sunday.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I could definitely see a high scoring game as well. I mean, this game, Joe, we've seen this. We've seen this so many times before, and especially in losing years when the morale sucks and teams going the wrong direction and all this stuff. MetLife is going to be a mess on Sunday, a complete, just absolute mess.
Yeah, and I want to thank Steve for calling in. It's going to be tough, especially with a lot of those seats being filled by Dolphins fans. They're going to come in loud. They're going to come in proud. They're going to be yelling and screaming. And I'm sure it's going to feel like a home game for the Dolphins team, just like other teams that, come in and say the exact same thing. But, Gase has got to have this team ready. They've got to pull together, put something together on the field that is competent, and make sure that this team doesn't come out there lifeless.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a trip, man. So we got Dan in Howard Beach. Let's bring on Dan in Howard Beach.
No way.
Dan, what's
no
up,
way.
man? Dan, what's up, man?
Hey, gentlemen, what is up?
Oh, dude, we're fired up for Jets, Dolphins, Ryan Fitzpatrick against Sam Darnold, Brian Flores against Adam Gase. This is what it's all about, man. This is it.
I've been waiting all year for this game. So, listen, fellas, I got it just straight up from the jump, man. I listened to you, the show for Tuesday. It was about, I think it was yesterday. I had to pull over. And I got out of my car, and I just started clapping in the middle of the freaking LIE. I loved your rant, Tyson. Joe, you were on fire. And I got to say, I thank you guys for putting the stamp of truth to this franchise. Everything that you guys said was beyond lit, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Now, with that being said, can I ask both of you guys a question?
Sure.
And be honest, huh? Joe, Tyson, be honest. I know you guys are.
Yeah.
Here it goes. Do you trust Christopher Johnson?
Of course not.
Cool. No, and hell no.
So how can you trust his words when he says that Adam Gase is going to be here next year?
The only way that the only possible way that he gets fired is the next 4 games are a complete train wreck, and the fans have campaigns and protests inside the stadiums where it's a bona fide just nightmare, and the players themselves speak out. Honestly, dude, you need to see a mutiny in the locker room. That's what you need to see.
I thought of that too, but I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, because here's the reason why. Is because if Gase was not going to be here going forward, I don't think he would have come out and said that. And I also don't think certain moves like trying to trade Jamal Adams or trying to trade Le'Veon Bell before the trade deadline would have even have been explored. I think that those moves, particularly the Le'Veon Bell trade stuff, because Gase never wanted him, I think that those moves indicated from then on that he was going to be here next year. I think all that Chris Johnson was waiting on was the right time to say it. And that little streak where he beat those 3 badass teams, those garbage-ass bottom-feeding teams, that was the right time to pop his head in and say, hey, well, look, he just won. I think at the time it was 2 in a row, or just maybe after the 3rd one he came in and he said, hey, he's going to be back next year and we're going to continue to build. Because otherwise, why would you want to get rid of Le'Veon Bell? Because if you were going to fire Adam Gase, we're going to bring in another offensive guy, right? Because Sam is the focal point. So if you're going to bring in another offensive guy, no offensive guy in their right mind would say, the first guy I want out of here is Le'Veon Bell. Nobody's going to say that.
Valid point. Completely. And I thought of all those scenarios as well. But let's look at this wild card here. And it's Joe Douglas. Now, number one, I'm not going to say that I trust him because that dude's got to work in order to get the fans' trust. Enough of this whole hype that Joe Douglas is this, Joe Douglas is that. But let's get one thing straight. Joe Douglas worked his ass off to get to this point as a GM. Dude got a 6-year deal, meaning he has more time than Gase. But with that being said, he has to utilize this time correctly. He has a job to do. I get you. Look at with McCagnon. It's a cutthroat business. Everyone knows it.
But
NFL, not for long.
I'm going to give you an example. So here's the problem I have. So what if Adam Gase goes to Joe Douglas and says, you know what? I don't want to keep Jordan Jenkins. And Joe Douglas is like, well, listen, man, Jordan Jenkins is at his value. We can get him back for $6 million a year. And Adam Gase will go, I don't want him here. Does Joe Douglas say, well, tough luck, you're going to keep him. We're going to re-sign him. Will Joe Douglas say, what's best for your organization is this, suck it up and deal with it? Or does he listen to Adam Gase? Who makes the final decision?
To me, given a GM 6 years, the GM has to have full autonomy. Yeah, no, I get that. I get it. But now he has that job. The responsibility that he has is to the New York Jets, not Adam Gase. Adam Gase is not.
He's got to prove it, dude.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you. Well, I hear you 100%. But this is where I'm coming at. Just
Just a second.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. But I hear what you're saying, Dan. And again, I want to thank you for calling in. But are we forgetting that Adam Gase has held more of the power than anyone else in this franchise so far? Yep. If Joe Douglas does say something like that, what's to stop Adam Gase from going directly to Chris Johnson and saying, "Hey, this is what I want to happen," and Chris Johnson just making it happen? The reporting structure here is not Gase reports to Joe Douglas reports to Chris Johnson. That's not how it works here. They both report to the owner. And if you look at the history of what's been happening, at least since he's been hired, is that Adam Gase has held all the cards. Do we forget that Adam Gase literally walked in the door, got the current general manager, when he got hired, got him fired immediately, then turned around and was allowed to make personnel moves, then was allowed to turn around and help with the new GM search. The reason that Joe Douglas is here is because of Adam Gase. So in what planet can Adam Gase go back to that office and say, "Hey, look, I don't know what Joe Douglas is talking about, but this is not a guy that I want to have here"? Why wouldn't Chris Johnson do whatever he said? Because he's been doing everything Adam Gase told him to do so far. He's been doing everything he told Adam Gase to do so far that Adam Gase is coming back in 2020, even though we can clearly see he's not a good head coach. Anybody with a set of eyes can see that.
That he's coming back, that Gase is coming back 100%.
That's what he told the entire fan base.
And again, that's why I started off. This is why I started off the actual argument. Do you trust the owner? The owner has no word. That's number one. Christopher Johnson has absolutely no credibility, no word whatsoever. And when he says something like that, of course, it's to appease. It's to appease the coach. And at that point when he said it, the playoffs were still a possibility. Even though it was a stretch, it was a possibility. To possibly maybe ignite the players and say, you know what, let's rally. The owner is behind this coach. Let's rally. Now that's dead. It's completely dead. Now, with this being said, again, this is all, on a hunch or whatever you want to call it. Let's be frank here. Joe Douglas worked with John Harbaugh. He's worked with Ozzie Newsome. He knows what the real strict structure of building a championship team. If he can go and knock on Woody's door or Chris's door and states, listen, there is a possibility I can get Jim Harbaugh. There's a possibility. Because let's be real, Jim, with Michigan, that's set on a divorce. You can give him a Gruden deal.
Here's
you know what I mean?
Yeah, can I hear you? Well, first off, I want to go back and address this whole Adam Gase thing. The thing is, if Adam Gase was not coming back here in 2020, if he really wasn't, and Chris Johnson was just saying those things, there's a better way he could have did it. He could have said nothing. He could have said absolutely nothing. Or he could have come out and said, we're still evaluating him this season. We will not tolerate, any kind of mediocre nonsense. But, hey, we're going to continue to go on through this season, and we'll evaluate things in the offseason. And that would have been that.
He can't say that.
To come out.
No, to play devil's advocate, Joe, you can't say that as an owner. You cannot say that as an owner. No, you cannot. You can't say that as a – no, you can't because it's a first-year head coach, right? It's first year with the Jets. And the possibility, again, of the playoffs were there. You can't just say that because then it's a dead man, lame duck, coach walking. You can't. Nope. Now that's it. Everything's off the table now. Everything's off the table. Listen, everything.
Like I said, I think you can absolutely say that. And again, it's not about making him a lame duck. It's saying, look, we're going to continue to evaluate him throughout the rest of the season, and we'll really come to our final conclusion in the offseason. We'll go for it. And that's it. He didn't have to, or he could come out and say nothing. He did not have to say he was coming back in 2020 if he did not truly mean that. Now going to the Joe Douglas thing. Listen, I understand Joe Douglas is coming, from where he came from. I understand people love Harbaugh. But I think what a lot of people forget about Harbaugh, and I'm here on the West Coast, I had a front row seat for what was going on in San Francisco. That dude wants control of the team. That was one of the issues he had with the owners and the GM that was there. He wanted to be able to pick his own players and do his own thing. Even though he was winning, he was going in there raising hell about everything and everybody. He wanted to be in full control. So unless you're just going to go out and hire Harbaugh, which would be doing exactly what we've done in the past, which was doing it the wrong way, we should allow Joe Douglas to select his head coach. If we're going to fire Adam Gase, which I am all for, okay? I never wanted the guy. I don't want him now, but we're stuck with him. But if we're going to fire Adam Gase, we need to allow Joe Douglas to go forward and pick the head coach and then move forward from there. Because then they'll have a rapport. He'll understand the system the guy wants to run, and everything will align. We all need to get on the same accord. That's another problem with this garbage-ass franchise. Everything in the front office needs to be on the same accord. When you look at teams that are winning throughout this league, you look at the Patriots, the Ravens, the Steelers, whoever, that front office, that franchise from top to bottom is on the same accord. And we need to do that.
Now, with that being said, hold on one second, Joe. I love everything that you're saying. John Harbaugh and Ozzie Newsome, those two are pretty much control freaks as well, both of them. Both. But they work in unison. Who's to say that Jim Harbaugh, if is chosen by Joe Douglas, they can work the same way? Because Jed York was a complete clown. Let's be real. Jed York was a complete GM bust. The only good move that he ever made was acquiring Jim Harbaugh. And what Jim Harbaugh did with Alex Smith is unbelievable. In those first 3 years, he turned a bust of a quarterback into a Pro Bowler. Imagine what he can do to Sam. And again, this is what I'm saying. That statement that Johnson says, that was at one pivotal moment of this season, but now that's all a wash. The assessments will be done at the end of this year. This is what I'm thinking.
But here's the problem, Dan. I mean, we're going to talk more about the Dolphin game, but the problem you have now is just going into this game in general. Look at this game right now. Going into the matchup, any sane fan, or I'm going to say, from my perspective, the Jets are going to lose this game. They know they're going to lose this game because the injury excuse is already built in, and they know it, and it's okay because the owner said it's okay. I mean, just look at it. With Jamal Adams being out is enormous. But then you add in Ryan Poole out, Millette out. Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to throw for 400 yards or 350 yards.
Right.
And if Sam doesn't do the same thing, they're going to lose. And after the game, Adam Gase is a built-in excuse. So when Chris Johnson goes, hey, what went wrong this weekend? Well, you know what? I didn't have Jamal. Le'Veon was sick. We don't have C.J. Mosley. We don't have this guy. We don't have that. Dude, it's already built in. The excuses are already built in, and losing is acceptable. And you know why it's acceptable? Because Chris Johnson didn't give a mandate. He didn't say, you know what, we're going to see how the rest of this year plays out. I expect a lot better. He didn't say that. He kind of said, you know what, things are tough right now. We're rebuilding. He is letting them lose. They justified losing. They accepted it. But what do you think about Sunday's game? Do you see any way the Jets win this game, honestly?
To be real, to be honest, as you know our history, it's like a bum history. When you know for a fact that they're going to lose, these sons of bleep, they somehow win it and mess up the freaking draft order. They're going to win this game. They're going to win this game.
There's a significant difference here.
Tyson, what are you going to say Tuesday when they win? It's crazy.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you the difference. The difference is in years past when the teams found a way to win, they were still fighting for Rex Ryan. They were still fighting for Todd Bowles. The team may not have played well under Todd Bowles. They loved that guy and played hard for him. Will this team fight for this coach? And I would say I do not know. And that is the difference.
Won't. No, the problem is at this point they're not fighting. They're not fighting for their coach, Tyson. They're not fighing for their coach. They're fighting for their jobs.
And that's the difference.
Their jobs.
What jobs?
That's the problem.
Back next year. They don't care, dude. A good portion of this team is on a 1-year contract. They don't care, and you know what? They probably don't want to come back here. Do you think they really care? They don't care.
No, yes, they do. They can't can it because if they can it, that means millions. That's going to be lost over the whole entire thing. It's going to be millions. They have to showcase that they're not quitters.
No.
You know that. So would you quit? You wouldn't quit. It's your pride now. Now, of course, you're going to lay it all on there. Now, I hope they lose. I hope they because that Ravens game is going to break the record. They're probably going to get shut out like 85-0.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward to that one. Believe it or not, I'm looking forward to that one. That's the one that I want Gase to get embarrassed. But with that being said, I hope Darnold doesn't get injured. I honestly don't. I hope he gets mono again.
Oh wow!
I hope so. Even though he can't get it anymore, but I hope Le'Veon gives him whatever. Yeah. But it's just ridiculous, man. Guys, it is ridiculous because you get to this point as a fan that you start delving into different thought processes. What if this guy's not telling the truth? And why as a fan base do we have to get to that point of thinking about the exteriors of the off season? What if this new GM Joe Douglas can change our minds and do this? Why can't we just focus on a Sunday freaking game, man? And just, maybe if we win this one, we might have a chance. And again, can it be any more obvious? We're going to build in this excuse of injuries losing against an 0-11 team. Dude, the blueprint was there. 0-11. Just look at the 11 teams that beat the Bengals. That's all you had to do. Yep. Just look at that game tape. And I told you guys last week. I said
they can't stop the run.
They can't. They can't. That's what they can't.
The blueprint this week. We had the same exact blueprint as last week, and we're going to get the same friggin' result. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and hopefully Darnold's going to regress, man, because that offensive line just got exploited. Kelvin Beachum is a backup left tackle. You put him in there if your starter just went down for like a good 3 games, and he can show you he can hold the fort for 3 or 4 games. Not a solid starter. And Shell is a turnstile. The dude's like Wayne Hunter 2.0.
Terrible.
But again, you don't have a coach who starts going in game and saying, all right, let me put a tight end here. Let me protect my quarterback. No, he got Tannehill just murdered over there in Miami, and look what he's doing. Look what the guy is doing. Tannehill is like what Vinny Testaverde with the Jets. What he's doing over there. And look at Devontae Parker.
Yeah, those aren't the only guys. That's not
the only guys. But again, I got to give credit.
You can look at Lance.
I got to give credit.
Kenyon Drake.
All those guys.
You can look at Devontae Parker. You can look at Albert Wilson. I can keep going on and on about
and
the guys
killed it.
got better once
Joe, you killed it. You killed it, and you nailed it. I was against you. Not that I was against you. I was trying to give Gase the benefit of the doubt. And, hey, maybe this. Nope, you nailed it. You saw through the dark clouds and all that stuff and all that Manish Mehta, Brian Costello nonsense, all that stuff, you saw right through it.
Yeah.
And look, why can't we just do, oh my God, it's just so bad, man. And let me tell you, man, Tyson, that F-bomb, dude, made my night. I worked a double, and I know, Joe, you were like, hey, it's a family show. At that point, Tyson chose the right F word, not the family.
Don't
did it.
Encourage that.
He did it.
Don't encourage that.
Dan,
all right?
Dan, what is your prediction for Sunday, Dan?
Oh, that's an easy one. We win 45-3. It's cake. 45. Absolutely. Out of nowhere. No, let me say. That's an easy one. Now that we're out of the playoffs, we're at 5. Pick number 5 overall? Of course. Let's go to 8.
Playoffs? You kidding me?
Give me Mora.
Playoffs?
Give me Joe Mora as a coach. Please.
Man, have a good
anything.
Man, have a good night, man.
Bruce Coslett. Bring Bruce Coslett back from the grave. Joe Walton. Give me Joe. I'm sorry. Before cut me off. That's what I was thinking about. You guys, of course, remember the Joe Must Go. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Like Ken O'Brien was an up and up coming quarterback, and they got that guy. That was the wrong guy to get for Ken O'Brien, and we're doing the same thing with Sam Darnold.
Yep. Very similar, man.
Sad, man.
Have a good night.
Fellas,
enjoy the game
thank you so much for the time. What's that?
Have a good night. Enjoy the game on Sunday.
Oh, I will.
It's interesting, man. Listen, we'll talk about future coaches and everything else after the season, but it seems like it's wasted energy right now because this goon is still going to be here. So, I would love to be wrong. I mean, I hate the Dolphins as much as you do. Nobody likes losing to the Dolphins.
But just looking at this and knowing what we know about this team, knowing what we know about the injuries, I just don't see it. And it's just that revenge factor and how bad this team wants to shove this loss in Adam Gates' face. And there's just, they have motivation and we have none. And I think it's a matter of pride and passion. I mean, I don't see it, but we're going to go to Mr. Tyrone. What's up, man?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? This is amazing.
Magic is back, baby.
I'm loving it. Yes, sir, baby. Yes, sir.
Magic.
Yes, sir. Because we got the best coach in the league, we got the best organization. You know what's crazy? If you put Adam Gaze on any winning team, there would be a losing team. And our owner doesn't realize that. So I'm sitting there thinking, right, we got to take a left tackle in the draft, maybe sign Beachman and put him at right tackle. We got to sign a center.
Let's just talk Jets Dolphins. Let's just talk Jets Dolphins. The entire secondary is pretty much hurt. How much does that concern you? You have Poole out, Jamal Adams out, Millette out. You have Dow Roberts probably playing safety. I mean, can't you see Fitz just lighting us up, dude? Seriously?
Tyson, you just said you're going to have Darryl Roberts playing safety. Oh, man, I'm
we made fun of that. We made fun of that last year.
I'm fully confident in that victory right there, buddy. No, the problem is this, man. Like, they're not fighting for him, and they're not going to play for him. He's not a good coach. You know what I'm saying? He gets out-coached every single week. We have the worst game plan ever, so it doesn't matter. I mean, it was so funny how everybody just went crazy over those 3 victories. Like, man, he figured it out. No, he didn't. We just played a team that was worse than we were. And that's the whole problem. How do you lose to an 0-11 Cincinnati team and lose to an 0-7 Dolphins team who's going to come in and probably give us that work this week? Like I said, our secondary is bad. We're not getting zero pressure. Our offensive line cannot protect. You know what I'm saying? And, you have one of the best running backs in the league. You don't run the football. I mean, it's mind-blowing. So I think the Dolphins have every advantage. If you check every advantage, even first-year head coach, he has an advantage. So if you want to get, I'm looking for a bloodbath. Like the last call said, it's something that we would do and mess it up and win. But at the end of the day, I'm being honest, bro. We are that bad, man. It's hard. It sucks to be a Jet fan. Like, I saw a Miami fan, right? And I had my little Jet stuff on. He's like, yo, we're going to give you that work Sunday. I looked at him, you know what I said? You probably correct. I said, I hope I don't see you this week again. It's just the truth, man. I mean, I can't even defend this no more, man. I can't defend it.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah, and Tyrone, I want to thank you for calling in, man. I love talking to you about this team, and you're right, it sucks, man. It sucks to watch us have an elite talent like Le'Veon Bell and not utilize his skill set correctly within the offense. It don't take much brain power to figure out how to use Le'Veon Bell. It's just mind-blowing. But I want to get your thoughts on this, man, because I'm concerned about Sam. I know he's going to take a beating in a lot of games we got coming up, but this game in particular, we saw, our protection can be spotty. We saw it against the Bengals. Are you concerned that they won't be able to adequately protect him against the Dolphins?
I mean, I've felt that way all season long. So, I'll be honest with you, man. I hope Sam gets some honor with games. I don't want to play against Baltimore. I'm being honest.
Man.
That man hurt,
me neither.
It's ridiculous, bro. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Listen, man. Like, Miami has been able to get to a quarterback, bro. Our offensive line has not been able to protect all season long. All season long. This has been something that they have not been able to fix. It makes no sense why we're still going through this. So, yeah, I'm definitely concerned about this. And then, go ahead, Tyson.
No, could you see this game being a shootout where it's just like both like Darnold and Fitzpatrick just airing it out, just throwing deep passes all game?
I mean, if we had a coach that could really coach, I would say, yeah, but our game plan is so basic, Tyson. I mean, if you're watching these games, these guys are running our routes. I mean, like the last 3 games, he kind of got a little creative. Like going away from Le'Veon. Why are you not using this man in the passing game? It's retarded. Why are you not
That's unbelievable.
Why? We have no protection. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get the deep ball down the field. Use Robbie in another angle. Put Robbie in the slot. Change things up. We don't have a creative mind, man. He might come up with 1 or 2 good creative plays a game, bro. He doesn't adjust. This man makes no adjustments to win a game. I've not seen this in my life where a coach doesn't. It's like Todd Bowles.
So what do you? So what are your three keys to this game for the Jets to win?
I'm gonna pray hard. For us to win, bro, I'm to be honest with you. I hope number one, I don't care if we get blown out. I hope that Greg Williams blitzes every single down. Don't let Fitzpatrick sit back there and be comfortable. He sucks. You know what I'm saying? We have to protect Sam, and we have to cover. Look, two of the three things I just said we cannot do. We have not done all season long. So I would say number one is put pressure on Fitzpatrick, which you have to come up with some exotic blitz patches. I don't even care if the blitz is coming. Just blitz them.
Yeah, how are you gonna blitz? How are you gonna blitz with a secondary that's destroyed? You can't even do that. You're gonna put these corners on the island.
Hey, do you think maybe Quentin Williams could step up in the game and really, put some pressure?
Okay, hold on. Tyson, hold on. I want to say something. I want to say something really funny. You just said put these cornerbacks on the island, right? Hey, listen, Tyson, if we don't, they're going to get burnt regardless. At least go down.
That's true.
Put pressure on them.
That's true. No, you're right. You're true.
Listen, we're running zone. Listen, I've watched the last 3 weeks. The middle of the field is wide open every single play. Bro, we're third and 18 snatch and a third and 22, and they get a 25-yard pass, bro. No, we can't cover regardless. So why are we going to sit back there and let Fitzpatrick just have all day do what he want to do? Nah, man, rush him. And protecting Sam, that should be a priority to protect your quarterback, a young quarterback like that. You want to bring Adam Gates back so Sam can go through this again next year? Oh, Joe Douglas is going to fix something. Don't get me wrong. Joe Douglas comes from I think he's a brilliant young mind. I think he will be okay. But I would lose total respect for him if he does not see the fact that bringing Adam Gates back is a mistake. It's a mistake. Listen, you lost to Cincinnati and the Dolphins. Those are fireable offenses to me, bro. You know what that is? That's almost treason, bro. You should be, you know what I'm saying? You should be tried and put in jail for losing to Miami Dolphins in Cincinnati. There's no way. Listen, this is the problem why we lost Cincinnati. He got too cute. Instead of keeping it simple, no. Now Adam Gates, what he wants to do? He wants to do something different. It doesn't work. His play. Everybody knows his playbook, except he doesn't realize that. It's ridiculous. It's horrible, man. Yo,
get you quiet.
I thought, listen. I was about to start crying.
You have him speechless. So Tyrone, what is your prediction for the game, man?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even care, bro. I'm gonna say, I don't know, 24-10, Miami.
Oh, Miami.
Listen, let me say something, man. And I know I hate to say this, and I love the show. I love you guys. And y'all know, and nobody can question my heart. I love this team. Unfortunately, I don't know why at some times, because all they do is break my heart, man. I'm so sick of losing, man. I'm so sick of every year having this conversation about simple games that we can't win.
So look at the bright side. There's a bright side, Tyrone. There's a bright side. What the bright side is, Christmas is around the corner. The holidays are here. New Year's Eve. Let the spirit of Christmas get into your heart and look past all this negativity.
Tyson, let me tell you something. You know what? You know why? It's not going to make you feel better? Because everybody buys me Jet stuff for Christmas. You know what I mean? So it's like it makes
there's another positive, though, Tyrone. Look at the other positive. The Jets are so bad, your friends are all spending less money now. It's all cheaper.
Hey, listen. You know what you guys let me go, man. Listen. Do you realize that we play Baltimore Thursday?
I can't wait. I can't wait. I may go just for the enjoyment. I may even go to that game.
Can you imagine Sam taking a beating 2 weeks, 4 days in a row, bro? I mean, within 4 days.
You know why I want to go? I want to go because I get to go see the coach that I wanted and the quarterback that I like. That'd be perfect. Wouldn't that be great, Joe?
Hey, look.
Wow.
Let me say one more thing before I go. I'm gonna pull a Steve moment. The last game I went to in Baltimore and Jets, when we played Baltimore, we were at Baltimore playing the Jets, right? I watched them get murdered, bro. I had to sit down there, bro. I think we lost like 40. It was something retarded, bro. I was in the stands, bro, just looking dumbfounded. You know what I'm saying? And you know the fans, they let me
I've been there
enjoy
3 times. They lost all 3 times.
Yo, we got murdered this game, bro. It was something nuts, man. Rex was talking all that smack, bro. When they say they beat the brakes off us, man, Rex wanted to leave, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So I can only imagine how much of this game I'm going to actually get to watch because it's going to be out of the ballpark. But love you guys. Jets up. And I'm sorry.
Have a good night, man.
It's over. It's over.
Man,
a season in disarray. All right, Joe. As we wrap things up here, my prediction is pretty obvious. I mean, I'm going to kind of stick to what I believe in. My first thing is the missing of Jamal Adams is big on and off the field. Big. It's just with a team coming off an embarrassing loss that's going to look to rebound. There's no leadership there. I don't know. I don't really see where that's going to come from. The passion and pride. And to be honest with you, I don't think this locker room is going to fight for Adam Gase. I'd be completely impressed if you saw a spirited effort at the Jets this Sunday. I'd be shocked, impressed, and maybe inspired. I don't think that's going to happen. You look at this, I mean, the whole Fitzpatrick thing, he's going to find holes in the secondary, especially if we can't get a pass rush, which I think the Jets can't. On offense, I just have a funny feeling like Bell's not going to play, and Powell's going to have a big day. But it's going to be like a shootout, in my opinion. So I'm going to say 31-21 Dolphins.
Ooh, man. Wow. And I want to thank Tyrone for calling in. I always love talking to him. But I'm looking at the situation, and I think Adams missing, clearly is going to affect us. But I think Marcus May will be able to make some plays out there. I think our corners, though, are going to have issues. I don't know if we'll be able to get a pass rush on Fitz. But I think Adam Gase and the Jets offense will do just enough because I can't in my mind come into any type of, logical thought or any type of reality where we're worse than the Dolphins. I cannot do that to myself. I won't do that to myself. So I am taking the Jets to beat the Dolphins 17-14. 17-14. I'm taking the Jets. I think it's a nasty, ugly game, but we do just enough somehow, and we win 17-14. That's where I'm moving.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to thank the callers. Thank everybody that listens. I mean, these shows are tough to do. I mean, this is tough, man. This challenges every facet of your fanhood, your sanity, your mindset, everything. This challenges every faculty you have.
Man.
So thank you for listening. This is brutal, dude. I can't stand this. This is just terrible. So thank everybody that listens. We're on YouTube, Let's Talk Jets Radio, Instagram and Twitter, @TalkJetsRadio. This Saturday, be sure to help the Jersey City Fire Department with their Christmas fund drive for the Mark V. Lee fund drive. So be sure to do that. We'll tweet out that information. And Joe, it is your time to shine on this glorious Jet season.
Listen, I am the man of the people. I'm here for the people who shamelessly promote our Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search Let's Talk Jets Radio. Like that page. Our content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message us. We'll message you right back. We love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave us some feedback. We love hearing about what you folks think we do here on Let's Talk Jets Radio. I'm also on Twitter as well @YoungJ000. That's 3 zeros. Go ahead and follow me. I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me? No issues. I'm the troll is under the bridge. I will have my Darnold jersey on. I am praying for him. I hope that he can make it through the season without completely getting destroyed. And I will troll you right back, all right? I'm also on YouTube as well @YoungJ00. That's 2 zeros on YouTube, 3 on Twitter. I do weekly videos. I continue that, talk about the Jets on every single one. I also do a weekly pick-em, so I cover a little bit from other teams as well. So go ahead and subscribe to my content. You want to troll me on there as well. No issues. I will troll you right back. No problems asked, all right? So when you people see me in person, all right, it is arms out, chest open, freak. Come on, man. At a time like this, really? You troll people for weeks before they're screaming, and we're going, 5 in a row.
5 in a row.
Oh, we're going to.
It's still 5 in a row.
You swept that.
5 in a row.
You swept that under the rug. You tried to push that into your
5 losses in a row.
Yeah, right. It was 5
on the way.
We're about to finish.
Dude, if they don't win Sunday, are they winning the rest of the season? No. They're not beating the Steelers. They're not beating the Ravens. They ain't beating the Bills. That'd be 5 in a row. 5 losses in a row.
Ooh.
Woohoo! Ooh, come get some.
Man, if you imagine that Bills game after that Ravens, oh my God, so brutal. But listen, all right, when you people see me in person, don't listen to the troll that is Tyson Roush. Okay, we see how he treats the people. All right, when you see me in person, it is arms out, chest open. Free hugs for everyone, okay? The hugs are absolutely free, especially on time like this. Jets fans, we need to band together and show each other some love. So that's what I'm all about. Look, I want to thank you folks for listening. Without you people, we are absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the time out of your days to listen and call into the show as well. I'm telling you, you folks are the absolute best. And again, as Tyson was saying as well, please, everyone support the Mark V. Lee Toy Drive. Do whatever you can, whether it be monetary donation, whether it be volunteering your time, or you can pick up a toy. Take that to your local Jersey City Fire Department, donate it. Give something to a kid so they can have a great Christmas. That's what it's all about, is providing toys for these kids so they can go on and have a great day.
Enjoy the game on Sunday. Hopefully it's a win. I highly doubt it, and we'll talk about it on Tuesday.